Recording in progress.
We will go ahead and it being 6:00, I have 6:05 here, call this meeting of the RMLD Board of Commissioners to order.
Call the Citizens Advisory Board to order.
This meeting is being audio recorded, held remotely on Zoom and live streamed on RCTV. The RMLD Board of Commissioners recognizes the importance of hearing public comment at the discretion of the chair on items on the official agenda. Once recognized by the chair, all persons addressing the board shall state their name and address prior to speaking. It is the role of the chair to maintain order in all public comment or ensuing discussion. If we have any members of the public participating remotely, please state your name before speaking. Do we have anybody who has public comment?
We have a liaison.
Oh, okay. Did we let them in?
Well, no. Hi, Joe. We're going to allow you to talk if you'd like to say something.
Looks like Joe is still muted.
Hi. No, thank you. I'm all set. Thank you. I'm just listening in. So.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So no liaisons. All right. So our next topic is reorganization of the Board of Commissioners. So we have a few positions that we need to nominate and elect. We have the chair, the vice chair, secretary, and then the audit committee, as well as the sub audit committee, 2 individuals each. So do we have any nominations for chair?
You want to do the announcement?
Oh, I can do it.
You can do it. I'd like to nominate Pam to repeat as the chair in an unprecedented move with the RMLD because of the stellar job that you did. I think it was a full agreement by, I'll speak for myself, but I hope everybody else that did an excellent job and like you continue as the chair.
Well, thank you for that vote of confidence. I appreciate that.
Second.
Was that a motion or a discussion?
I just seconded it. I don't know what it is, but I second the concept.
I very wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment. It's been a great, you've done a great job. And so if nobody objects, I think that would be a very nice continuation.
Should be easier. We already have a commissioner now.
Um,
So
yes,
then,
does anyone else have other nominations before we just? Or anything?
I think you vote on the first and then you go to the next.
Okay, I wasn't sure if anybody else wanted to also. But, like, I'm just giving people options. For the term, okay, yeah. All right, should we
That's-
go ahead and take a vote?
Sure.
so
I'll make up a motion. All those in favor of electing. Oh, is there one?
It's right there.
Right there. Move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners elect Pam Daskalakis as Chair of the RMLD Board of Commissioners effective immediately after the vote.
second that,
Okay, all those in favor?
Ray Porter, I.
Talbot, aye?
Bob Coulter, aye.
That's black as aye. All right, well, thank you very much. The vice chair nomination.
Would you be interested?
I'll accept the vice chair nomination.
Then if you would, if you will accept it, I will then nominate you. That
Yep.
work for everybody?
I agree.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then let me do that. Move that RMLD Board of Commissioners elect Ray Porter as Vice Chair of the RMLD Board of Commissioners effective immediately after the vote.
Second? You have the
Second.
second?
I
Okay.
second the motion.
All those in favor?
It's a roll call vote, right?
Yep.
Ray Porter, I.
Talbot, aye?
Bob Coulter, aye.
That's black as aye.
Right.
We then need to appoint a secretary. Have any nominations for secretary?
You and me, I can do it.
Either way, I've been doing it. I enjoy it. It's fine, but
Yep, if you want to keep doing, I'll do the audit then.
Okay.
Okay.
so
I nominate Dave Talbot as the continue on as the secretary.
Second,
All those in favor?
Ray Porter, I.
Talbot, aye?
Bob Coulter, aye.
That's black as aye. Okay, and then you said audit committee, Bob, you would be,
I'll nominate myself.
I can nominate Bob.
Thank you.
Second,
So you have to read it out. Right? Somebody has
Who
to-
would be the backup? No.
Well, we could,
You want?
so maybe we
Rich, make Rich
Bob
backup.
nominate Rich as,
I nominate Rich as the backup.
can we nominate someone who is not here?
Sure.
I-
Absentee.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to take it. 'Cause, you know,
Absentee.
All right,
so do you want me to read out the full motion then? Or did somebody else already did it?
Yes, please.
Move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners appoint Bob Coulter as an RMLD Board of Commissioners member and Rich Swanson as the backup to the Town of Reading Audit Committee.
second,
all those in favor?
Ray Porter, I.
Talbot, aye?
Bob Coulter, aye.
That's black as aye. And then we need to appoint subcommittee.
And this can be just the same two.
Can
Okay,
we do the same two people?
sure. So why don't I read it out?
Okay.
Move that RMLD Board of Commissioners appoint Bob Coulter and Rich Swanson as RMLD Sub-Audit Committee members.
Second,
All those in favor?
Ray Porter, I.
Talbot, aye?
Bob Coulter, aye.
That's black as aye. Excellent, are officially reorganized.
You get a multicolored gavel for doing it too.
Sure, why not? I'll take any swag you want to provide.
There's some stripes.
Go with the hat. Go with the hat. Okay, excellent. We'll move along. Susan Inman here. Please give us an HR update. Welcome.
Great. I'm Susan Inman. I'm the Director of Human Resources and I just met one of our newer members tonight, so good to be with you all again this year. Just want to start this presentation just we're gonna analyze, we're gonna show you, we analyzed our employee data to kind of better understand our workforce and our HR needs. I'm gonna present some highlights regarding actions we took in 2025, including successful succession planning, summer learning program, recap our hiring and including our GM search, and our contract settlements and RMLD's response to some requests from employees during that time. And also present some highlights on HR actions and expected efforts in 2026, promotions, plans for co-ops, spring, summer, and fall, and summer learning program, new hire efforts, employee engagement survey, which is to be organized, and the future signing of the rest of the union contracts. And I include this slide every year just to kind of show you how our makeup is going by workforce by generation. And one of the important things I just think to note is when you see the next slide that's coming, you'll note that we have about 52 employees that are under 5 years with RMLD, and I want to show you that they're not all in the same age group. So we're hiring seasoned people, we're hiring people with skills, and we're trying to, hire the best there is, whatever age group they fall in, but it's not all brand new, right out of school people. So we value our employees. The statistics show that people have stayed with us for quite a long time. We do have a lot of tenure here and long-term employees. And we are, with the uptick in the new employees, we're just kind of trying to reestablish our protocols, our guidelines, our institutional knowledge, and kind of dive down to reconstruct and update anything that we have going on that, prescribes how we do our jobs and how we move forward in this organization. So we're working hard on that. And some of the things we're doing also lend to doubling down on critical skills, things like payroll. We want to have more than one person being able to do that. And, spreading that knowledge, working together as teams to kind of do better proofreading, to do better, organizational tasks that are of high priority to getting it right in HR. We also support education and training, and we participate in many educational training opportunities, both internally and externally. We offer an extensive online catalog of training options through a program called Litmos. So we can prescribe when someone comes online, like eight little classes that they can take. Some are related to policies we have, others are just introductions to certain things at RMLD. We are big proponents of tuition reimbursement and have utilized it to help our employees to grow to levels where they can apply to growth opportunities within our organization. And this benefit has allowed us to, have people pursue specified educational opportunities that are of value to RMLD. I would highlight, some of the ones that you're going to see below in the certificate retention. Many of us, I know there's always the question, are we educating? Are we doing this? Some of us have to do certain things every year because we have certain certifications and we have to keep those up. They require whatever you want to call them, professional credits or CEs, or, there's different names for them, PDCs. And that's evident in HR, IT, and procurement, particularly. I'm sure there are some also with engineering teams and different things like that. But just to highlight, these are particular ones that we do over and over again every 3 years. Our procurement team has for years been very well versed in all of the Massachusetts regulations, doing their MCPPO certifications. And to highlight one of the great points this year, not that we will really miss her, but we had a long-term employee that was our purchasing manager retire, and she had trained her staff, 2 people underneath her, so well. We didn't miss a beat. She was here for a very long time, and they were so lucky to work with her and get her expertise the whole time that she was here. And she rode off into her sunny retirement on the beach, and we were able to just pick up right where she left off and have that work out very seamlessly, which was great. I've added some things here that to show you the educational and training opportunities that we are participating in annually, seasonally. Some are times that we're presenting at a engineering, a trade show or a NEPA type of thing. And we do some presentation as well as attendance. And we're certainly doing a lot of things on IT and cybersecurity, that sort of stuff, because that's just imminent that they have to do that in order to keep us protected. And so kind of catch up with myself here. We have some mandatory training too that we've been working through, some sexual harassment and that sort of stuff that we do every single year or every couple of years because we're mandated to do that by the law. And so we just had one recently. We have it in person, and then sometimes we follow up with everybody who can't attend. We put them on the online basis for that one. And so our education, and you can see our NEPA electricity, energy connect, many PR boot camps, MEAN, deed grant workshop, all skills that our employees are getting and utilizing here at RMLD. We have highlighted some actions from 2025. At that time, we were rounding down on filling all the openings that we had, and we hired about 7 employees. 2 were promoted to growth positions within our purchasing department, as I just mentioned before, and 1 IRD energy program specialist was promoted up to a specialist who had been here for a few years and had some leadership opportunities with some of the newer people in our organization. So we invited 4 students to work here for our summer learning program, and that was tremendous. We had a great summer learning group last year. They not only contributed to the team, but they were just fantastic. They had skills. I think we gave as much as we got in that scenario, and lots of times we go into that knowing it's a giving thing. And we really had a great time with them and benefited from them being here. So they left with that, and we just interviewed new candidates for our summer learning program this year. It's going to be a little bit pared down because we have a couple of new people in key positions that are really getting training before we'll have a summer intern come into those areas. So we're doing customer service and marketing this year. And some of the interns, which was a nice thing, came in on recommendation of our former interns, which was good to see that they had a good experience here and felt like they walked away with something productive.
Excuse me,
yeah.
Do we look within the territory first or not? Or how do we do that?
I've always said we hire the best people, but we definitely advertise and shoot out to our area. And really, most of what we get back is in our area as far as applications.
That's all I was talking.
For the summer learning program, particularly. The co-ops, not so much, because we're picking from, we're usually going to schools like Northeastern, Wentworth, we might be doing specific majors, data analytics or science majors. And in those cases, no. But, and just to give you an example, last year when we had the 4, I think we had 2 or 3 that were from Reading or Wilmington or Linfield. And we had a 3rd that was just a stellar candidate, and we hired him, and he was not from our 4 towns. But we do make the effort to kind of see all of our kids in our territories, but we don't make, it's a sounding rule that it is from only.
All of these interns are college students?
They are college students, or sometimes, I think there was one last year that was just right out of college, and he was somebody who was teaching here in Reading, and we
don't take any like high school interns from the.
No,
I know there's
no, we haven't done that. And I think that would be a different program, because I have had some calls for that, and I have asked internally to see if somebody would.
Well, I'm
do that
specifically curious about, I know Reading Memorial High School has the Clean Energy Pathways program where students are learning about energy as part of like their
Yeah.
their focus area. It'd be interesting to.
I wouldn't be surprised if we could have an opportunity to do that here. I mean, we have had some recruiting going on here in the last couple of years, pretty significant amount of people that were hired. And even just in my time here, I would say with interns, I've probably hired over 30 people, and that's quite a bit in a, but if you take away the interns, it's less, So, but now we're slowing down on that. But we have one opening right now and maybe another that, we always consider when something opens up, we look at that, see what our need is, see where that's going. So we have another position that's in that wheelhouse too. So we're kind of trying to decide what to do on that, but we're actively looking for a systems engineer right now. And that was just due to a retirement. So that's good news. Our openings are from retirement. And so that's really good news for us. And so just make sure and I wanted to just mention, the union contracts, when we settled those, there was some really great, requests from employees that turned into some really good things for our culture and our people. A little more move to a family-friendly use of sick time during FMLA and some clarification of other elements that were important to them. So I felt like that was very successful and we were able to close those contracts. You will be seeing, we have given out one draft now, second one going out tomorrow of the final for them to approve and then get it to you to sign. And the third will be going out shortly after that. So we will be circling back with you. So, and then for 26, we promoted this year in 2026, 2 employees to growth positions, 1 to a more senior title in the accounting division, 1 to a new position in the accounting division, which is why we didn't take on an accounting summer learning program, because we actually had somebody brand new in there. And again, we're in the process of hiring an engineer, and then we have invited 2 co-ops. Last year we had taken a little time on that, and this year we got Northeastern back into the swing of things. Happened to be Northeastern. I actually interviewed a lot of people. We had 700 applicants for our co-op positions.
What?
700 applicants.
Wow.
And I got to hand it to Megan because she went through every single, So we did end up with 1 in the spring, summer time right now. And we have another one coming in August. They'll pass over each other couple of weeks and that'll be that. So we'll have two this year. And for we'll be starting we have looked into now getting some to talk to some firms for the employee engagement survey in the fall, and we will be pushing to get that completed, and we're going to put out an RFP for that and interview some organizations that people are familiar with that do this kind of work. So we're going to start that, and we're hoping again that will happen in the fall. And we're going to revisit the performance evaluation process. The performance evaluation process, I think the biggest sort of challenge with that isn't really, when we look at training, one thing that's left out of here, just so you know, Erin does a great job of tracking all the training of the line department, but when the jobs are specifically loaded with steps to actually train up to like a first class lineman is an example, all of that training takes place in the first 5-6 years, whatever that they're here, and that just happens through, we have career development plans and they move along their career development plan and we put them up to the top eventually. So there's always that training going on, but that doesn't happen in every single role here because they don't all have steps. So we have some people in our IBEW group, for example, that have ranges, not steps. And I think the challenge for us is to get the performance evaluation system right, where they can still experience some growth outside of a COLA in a prescribed way that's equitable for all the people and not just people that might be primarily visible to the decision makers, So I think that's what our work is cut out for us on the performance evaluation. I know that wasn't the very top priority goal, but I think that's something that we're gonna have to look at this year.
Are there other MLPs who do that really well that you've connected with to kind of learn some best practice?
I haven't really tried to connect with anyone. I've done, and I've seen the performance evaluation thing from a couple other communities that I have worked in on the town side. And sometimes it can feel laborious when there's a lot of detail to it and there isn't money attached to it. So a lot of times it has seemed to me that the employees sometimes receive it like, you just gave me more goals on top of the job that I had, but it's not tied to anything particular. So I think that makes it a little more challenging, you know what I mean? And so that's my experience with it. I haven't really looked, I can honestly say I really haven't looked at other people's performance evaluation things, but yeah, certainly we could do that. Right now, I think where we are, we redid our forms last year. I don't think our forms and our process are terrible. I think it's just more the equity and how we decide how to move people and how we base those decisions and what we base them on, how we get that data and how we keep it really equitable between the group. So
From a municipal light plan, as far as it like, let's say an engineering role, that would be like it in this group. Most of them are non-union, so there wouldn't be steps and there would be a performance type of evaluation that we could probably lean on a little bit and tie it back into some union type stuff, but typically, if they are union, there's typically steps. So, it's kind of a hybrid and trying to like figure that out. So, but yeah, we can lean on light plants that are non-union, but find a way to make it work in a union environment.
And I know some use peer evaluations to advance. Because there has to be a high level of confidence in the advancement, right? You're dealing with power, it's dangerous. And I don't know if that's a factor in your decision-making, but that's a very effective program.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a tough program, but it's a very effective program and
yeah,
it works. When you advertise the co-op, was that just like like a simple board? You got 700 applicants? I don't think we got 700 applicants for anything ever.
yeah. Really, we have a few connections with schools, so we do put that out. We did attend a job fair this year at Endicott. That was actually after that. So that didn't even, it was really just putting it out there. Particularly, I think Northeastern had a lot of people reply to us. They were right in that zone at the time.
Yeah, something came out. I was gonna say, whatever you did, do it again.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe it's
Yeah,
time.
Megan's
Hey.
maybe
Yeah,
not.
maybe not.
I
Maybe
didn't
not.
see you over there. I would have chimed in. Megan did the bulk of the work in looking through all of those, and there were a lot. And she was very diligent in saying, I want a cover letter. I want them to speak in the cover letter to what their qualifications are. And she very diligently went through those to choose who to interview. And I think we ended up with someone really great. So I think it was worth the time and effort. But I will say it did change us a little for the second round when we went for the summer learning group, because we could not do that again. It was just too much. We were just like, we need a good crowd, that we have some variety here, but not, 700 applicants. It was, and-
Whatever, if there's 700, and if
Yeah.
it's like if you use some kind of platform or board, don't do it again.
yeah, well, we had put it out on our HR Jazz, which does put it out to job boards, but then we also connected with posting it at schools. And what I said to Megan, and I think we talked about it after, was saying maybe just making that contact with the school and having them select some people and send them to us would have been the better route than putting it on their job board, because it was an appealing job.
Sure.
Can I say? They like us. And I think we've had success there before. So I think that, it was good. So it's not, I'm not going to complain about that problem, but, but it does present its challenges nonetheless. So that's any questions I'd be happy to take, but that's sort of my, what's been happening since 25.
So just on that performance evaluation process, sounds like a lot of kind of analysis and scenarios need to be reviewed. Is the thinking that that would get revisited or refined for this year, or you're developing the plan
That's the stretch
this
goal.
year and then, okay.
Yeah, the stretch goal was for me was that, and I intend to make every effort to try to do that. And then the last thing I will say, I think that what's really important about this presentation, it made me feel really good after doing it, because you don't kind of see the whole thing till you're done, is that we've really moved away from filling openings to developing people who are here and focusing on our employees and doing some really good things with that. Promotions, teaching, gathering groups to collaborate on key practices like payroll. We have 2 people working together now, and we've fully supported that with another person going into that department. All things that were kind of lined up for success there. And we noticed it really a lot when we had a very good summer intern last year in that department that gave us a little bit of breathing room to kind of do some other things there. And so it was a really good plan. So I like the succession planning success. I like the success of developing our employees and knowing that you see how people feel about that. And even the other people around, I've had a lot of comments about, I see you promoting from within. I see you reaching, our other employees and saying, come apply for this job, or trying to sometimes get creative and figure out ways to grow positions that are key, that don't have a natural pathway already built for them, but trying to say, okay, where do we want that to go? Because that person is really great at what they're doing. And I think it's been a very collaborative effort to be able to do that. And I'm happy about that. So I feel good about it.
Sounds good.
Any additional session?
Do a good presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And well done with the number of people that you've hired in the past year. It's exciting to see that, that
Yeah.
they're wonderful people who hopefully will stay a long time and grow their careers and contribute to the nation.
Yeah.
So,
And the small point, if you're wondering, I didn't hide it, that the couple of people that have not stayed, for reasons that were just their own. One was moving to a more high-techy environment with a little more freedoms, and I don't think they liked the space of the so much security, and they liked the Oracle kind of space better. That was one, and another left on his own to do a different job that he wanted to do, and one didn't like the particular job he chose, being in a control room all day. And so the reasons we lost people that left on their own were really totally things that I could expect and deal with, and amicable and not problematic. So
thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Operations update.
How you doing tonight?
How are you?
Good.
Right, Peter Price here, Director of Engineering and Operations. How do you get this thing started? There we go. All right, I'm giving you an update. It's all right. So first slide here, we have some engineering and operations 2026 goals. Majority of them are Station 6. The first one is Station 6, the duct bank and pole line construction. We'll be going out to bid this year for the duct bank. We'll be building the pole line for all the feeder getaways. We just petitioned the town of Wilmington for 28 poles and about a half a mile of conduit and duct bank, which they approved. They have some conditions that we're working through. So that we will be putting the bid package together for the duct bank and cable, and hopefully it'll be ready for approval at the July board meeting. The new feeder construction, that has to do with the poles and the overhead construction that the line crews will be working on. We hope to do that as well this year. That's one of our goals, to get the poles in and get the overhead construction, get everything prepped between the riser poles, the switches, all tie points, the spacer cable. and all that's mostly taking place on Belleville Street. Also, one of our goals is to get the 115 kV yard construction completed. The contractor has finished all the foundations. It has the steel is scheduled for delivery on Thursday and Friday. The H frames, the large steel structures for dead ending. The 115 cables coming over from the National Grid right away. The 115 kV breakers should be ready the second week of May for witness testing and delivery shortly after the witness testing. Another goal is the AMI project. We're shooting to get 40% complete by the end of the year. Meter department's working very well on that. They're getting about 2,000 meters a month done. It's probably slow down this summer with vacations and all that, but they've been very ambitious and they've been scheduling outages. Been doing a lot of apartment buildings. So that's moving forward pretty well. The rolling stock, as you know, we have a lot of trucks on order. We're hoping to get the 2 from CY24 delivered this year. There was lead times of 60 to 80 weeks. So we're hoping to have those 2 bucket trucks this year. We are also doing a radio system upgrade. The system we have now is over 10 years old. We've had some issues with communication with the radios. They have a next generation system. We're working on getting that scheduled. We've had a little trouble from industrial communications and their scheduling department, so we're still working on that. Facilities is also working on the Rmld campus, the buildings, the renovations and upgrades. We have an architect involved with the covered parking we're putting out next to the garage for all these extra vehicles we're going to have, as well as the renovations to the cafeteria, the lobby, and the kitchenettes. So he has an architect involved, and we also have a outside contractor, Allen & Majors, helping us with the plans for the yard and the structure for the parking structure. They're working with us on the layout, and they'll have to be more involved with the footings and things like that.
Question, Peter. On the AMI projects, is that's 40% of the meters out there that you're putting? So we've got, of the meters you want to put out, we're about 40% of those.
That's what our plan is. We want to get 40% of it done this year. That includes building out the communication systems.
Well, that was where I was
collectors,
going.
And the meters. So as we build out the communications, then we work to get the meters to fill in so that once they're out there, they can see that they're communicating. And
Yeah, that was what I was asking, is we're getting data back yet, but you're still putting meters out.
they are getting data back as they go along.
Okay.
And they test it as they deploy it.
Good, okay.
Peter, how has your reject rate been going? Basically, the AMIs, like you get out there and it's all rusted out, it's just not.
They haven't had many problems. Some of the problems I've had is the meters have the remote disconnect. Sometimes they came in already in the open position. So they had a few of those, and now they have to continuity test every meter before they put it out to make sure that the breaker is actually closed. So I caught them by surprise on a couple of things.
Yeah.
They've had some that have not communicated. So they've had a few of those too. I don't know if he has a rate just yet so early in the project, but he's keeping track of those and putting those aside.
Yeah. But, not that you're expecting it, but there's always something that comes up.
There's always something was made on a Friday,
Yeah. But it's a challenge, I 40% is awesome if you can get that.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
That's the goals. I have next slide is the summary of what's going on, what's happening at Station 6. So as I said, we've got some milestones here. They've finished the concrete footings for the structures and equipment. They have all the bases ready to go. Just waiting on the steel structures, the breakers. We've received the switches, PT, CTs. There's some other equipment that we have received. We have insulators, cable. So things are moving right along. They just finished the transformer oil containment system. They're backfilling that. That's complete. As you know, the 15 kV switchgear was delivered. It was delivered in 5 sections. So when they build it at the factory, it's all connected, tested. Then they separate things into 5 sections. They have it delivered. Now it has to be reassembled. So the building itself is reassembled. What you see there in the picture is just an an aisle of the switch gear there. But they're working on all the wiring connections, the bus connections. This morning they were putting the batteries in 2 battery systems for the primary and secondary. That's going along. Like I said, the steel structures scheduled for the H-frame steel structures scheduled for delivery Thursday and Friday of this week. Then they'll be out there the following week, start setting structures. As I mentioned, the pole and duct bank petition has been approved by the town of Wilmington. We have some conditions. We got to work through a couple of just a wetland issue, just getting something flagged and showing where the poles are on the plan. So work with Alan and Major on that. Keep the Concom happy. The duct bank. So we anticipate that the duct bank will get in this year. The cabling may not be till next year, but there's lead time on the underground cable that's been sized, and looking at the quantity and the size of it, it's probably going to be, I don't know if it's a 8-month lead time on cable, but we'll find out when it goes out to bid. RMLD line crews will be continuing work up there. They'll be doing the poles, the overhead construction. We already replaced a number of poles on Bell Street in anticipation of the project. So our crews will be working up there continually through the summer into the fall. Yeah, National Grid, we did have a meeting with them. They are proceeding with the takeoff structures. They have some 6 structures they have to build on the T146 line. So they said they were going to be starting that this summer. In these structures they needed so that they can dead end the T146 line and bring the circuit over to our substation yard. And they still have some other things they're working on. There's a protection scheme they're working on and how they have to bring the fiber cables into the substation. They want them separate. They got to have some redundancy and some separation of the 2 systems. So I think they're still working on that because we haven't got a clear answer yet of how it's coming into our substation yard. So they still have a lot of things on the plate that they're working on. That's I have a bunch of if you want to hear any summary of any of the engineering projects.
Probably about 7 more minutes for the topic. So whatever you want to just highlight as keys would be fine. You'd have to go through everything unless you have a question.
All right, for engineering, we have a lot of building going on. We have a bunch of apartment buildings. You can see the number of units coming into our system there. We're working on 2 schools, the Killam and the North Intermediate School in Wilmington. They got the Recal, some Mass DOT projects that we're going to be spending a lot of time on. In Charles River Labs, looking to redevelop their site. So there may be some more construction next summer.
In the school projects, Killam and then Recal, Killam, North Intermediate School in Wilmington and Recal. And this might be a question more for Megan, that you're obviously supporting power infrastructure and connectivity. Has that included solar and the integration of solar in that? Is that?
Solar's on their end. They're going to have to do their own solar installation, but the services,
Okay.
It's been designed for that through their electrical contract design engineer.
Okay.
Line Department's working on a number of projects that were in the capital budget. Working Vale Street, the Mass DOT projects, transformer replacement, conversion areas, area upgrades. Grid assets, working on the AMI project, and that's about the 4,000 meters, 2,000 a month. They're working on some substation relay upgrades, doing their substation inspection in the yards, their infrared inspections, meter testing, and they've been doing some maintenance on the generator up to Station 3. Did I skip one? Facilities. And there's a project for facilities, a covered parking structure. So how we're working with Alan Major. We did the survey, we've met with the building inspector. Now we're working with the architect for the design and the bid documents. Lobby and cafeteria upgrades, I'm working with the architect on that. The rolling stock, we have 7 trucks on order. Hopefully get 2 of them this year. Radio upgrades and working on the new decals on the vehicles, the logos on the side of the vehicles. I try to get down to 7 minutes.
Did too.
All right, thank you. Any questions on anything in particular? Or?
So a light year for you.
Yeah.
Say, I think AMI is probably a big focus, obviously, but, and it's a once in a decade type of thing, but, just overall volume of projects versus prior years, are we?
We have a
way
lot on the
ahead?
plate this
Okay,
year.
yeah.
Yeah. With the AMI and
Or
Station
standby,
6.
You have what you need to get it.
Yes,
all
we brought the contractors back, the contract line crew, so we got behind on the rejected poll list. We have the polls inspected 10% every year, so with the polls were starting to back up. So talking to Jason, we brought the contractors back, so they're out there setting poles, replacing poles, and we have a crew coming in right behind them to do an upgrade, transformer replacement, whatever else is needed. So trying to get all these poles in and braced to keep everything safe and stay ahead of it as much as we can.
Thank you for all that you do and all your team is doing this year.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah, I've seen the crews up there, Franklin Street and Marla and Cookie
Yes, they
Hill.
did an upgrade in that
They're-
whole area.
Yeah,
Mark.
that,
Yep.
good job up there. A lot of new fresh poles, nice.
Excellent. Thank you so
All
much.
right, very good. Thank you.
Later. Okay, next topic is executive session minute release review. Dave.
Yeah, just that there's been a lot of great work done and we had another batch. Are we voting on them tonight or are we just updating?
Yep, we're voting tonight,
Yeah.
updating just in regular.
Okay, right. Okay, as with last time, we're just updating, but then in executive session, we actually approve the release of minutes.
Okay, so we do need to go to executive session for review of some of the power supply agreement negotiations. Would you, the cap? Yes.
I don't think there's any conflict, but I'm gonna recuse myself on the power supply just to be absolutely certain.
That makes sense. Thank you, Beth.
So, yep.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Would you like to move to go to executive?
Sorry to pause you. We actually do have a couple slides that can be done in a regular.
Oh, okay.
Good.
First one.
I forgot, I did want to mention one thing. I don't know if anybody saw the news about the Taunton municipal light employee that broke, but literally took a bucket truck. There was a fire in a house. I don't know if you've seen the video of it.
No.
And he went up and he tried to see if anybody was there and put the bucket up next to the farmer's porch and jumped into a burning house.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
When
pretty
was
pretty
that?
well. It was a few days ago. If it's AI, it's fantastic.
Ugh.
But it was about 6 days ago. And it was
Was anyone in the building?
there was no one in the building that was hurt. That says 47-year-old Taunton man, Jeffrey Powers, was charged. But it was a pretty cool video of that. Of course I can't pull it up right now. Won't pull it up, but I showed a lineman literally going in, seeing and going into a building burning over there, and he went in on this side to see if anybody was in there he could say anything. It was pretty awesome to see. So we need fireproof buckets.
Well, I'm not sure that our folks are trained on
Ah,
fire,
no.
so maybe we don't encourage jumping into burning buildings,
new
but
Rodeo event, flaming building
goodness.
rescue.
Bring Peter back.
but
and it'll be on
certainly,
video.
certainly a courageous thing.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry to jump right into executive, so Megan, you can go right ahead if you've got some pages to review first. I mean, you're welcome to stay if you want to just not.
I just won't say anything.
Speak.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the only one that I think we have two slides that are public, I guess. This one is just to provide the context for the discussion on the PPAs. E&E contacted us about two to 3 weeks ago about 3 opportunities. So we looked at our position again and clean up. We had some changes in contracts earlier this year. Look at the position again. So this is where we are right now. By 2030, we're still good. We're still like about 80% hedged, and our hedged contracts are mostly non-carbon. But then, so we're really looking beyond 2030, 2035. Then when we look into 2050, we're definitely not there. We're about half. But also I want to kind of this is my interpretation of the scenario in 25 years, right? Supposedly, while we are trying to get non-carbon, the state is also trying to get non-carbon because the state has the goal of net zero by 2050 as well. So that kind of blue purple on the top is our open position. That's what we buy from the wholesale market. And supposedly by 2050, the non-carbon component of that piece is also higher. So I'm not saying, I just feel it's not feasible to think that just by ourselves, we can really buy all non-carbon just through PPAs. However, I think we probably should try to make an effort to purchase as much as we can. So when these opportunities came up, so I'm going to the second slide. 3 potential PPAs we're recommending 2. One is offshore wind, which is, has never been done before. It might be the only opportunity in the next 5 years. And the other one, hydro, is a good, it's a rare kind of a production profile that I can discuss at the executive session. So we would want to recommend that as well. And the last one, we are not recommending, and I'll explain the reasons as well in the executive session.
But what type of energy supply is the last one?
No nuclear,
Nuclear?
yes.
Are there any like general insights that you can share in terms of like these recommendations or non-recommendations
Okay,
before we go into like,
yeah.
because I think we can't talk about specific pricing or
Yes,
negotiation.
I'll
but
talk
what's
about, yes, I'll talk about the third one, the nuclear. The main reason is, so I'll go back to this chart. If you look at 2050 or even before that, the bottom section, that's the blue, the lighter blue, that's all nuclear. And by 2050, the majority of our non-carbon will be from nuclear, and it will also be from a single supplier. So the more you rely on one single supplier, the more risk you're taking. So that's one of the biggest reasons that we're
all of that is Seabrook.
This
pretty
one-
much.
one reactor.
Also, Millstone supposedly will continue, but Millstone is not that big. We're getting,
The majority of it's Seabrook.
yeah, when you see
And
that,
is the opportunity that we're declining just an extension of the same, or is it a new facility?
it's the same facility, but a new portion of it that they're selling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same facility.
There is no other nuclear options really
No.
in New England.
Yeah,
Agreed.
It's,
yeah.
It was.
but there was, and it was closed unfortunately, but I don't think
There may be.
that's not proprietary information. There's
No.
only one, and they have this only game in town, and they're gonna price it at a price point. But it's the only,
I
if we're
can
gonna
discuss-
continue with
I can discuss
non-carbon,
the price
it's your
point
own,
with you
it's
too.
your only option. So, I just saying that.
Yeah,
So
and then,
I hate because you say that's the only option, but with Vineyard Offshore Wind, that's the only option there too. So it's basically the same
Yeah.
scenario, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not
But it's
40% of our portfolio. So if Seabrook has to take an outage, right? Then we're now left on, we could be left to the open market if it's an unplanned outage, right? So,
It's an unplanned outage at a nuclear power plant sounds a lot more disastrous.
Yeah.
well, it doesn't, I mean, there's a lot of reasons other than issues. Well, why a plant might be taken offline, not planned. And if we had 40% of our eggs in one basket and it's peak or if it's in the middle of winter when the market's really high, now we're exposed, right? So we're just trying to hedge that we're hedging in a couple different ways, right? So if we're just looking at maybe not having
Even more risk.
more risk in one specific location.
and I will tell you, pricing is another very big reason we're not recommending it.
I mean, open energy pricing in next year could be outrageous. And we have a 10% portfolio exposure, never mind a 50% portfolio exposure. So everything's a risk.
Can-
And nuclear has been phenomenal for RMLD.
how much incremental would the Seabrook?
We don't have that much of a say in how much we can get, because other MLPs are also trying to get, so E&E will kind of coordinate the proportions. They will have to balance, like, okay, how many are interested and how much they can get collectively and then to allocate. So what we are recommending right now is what they feel very reasonable to get. To like, not to guarantee, but that it's.
On
very
the
likely.
first two is what you think.
Yes.
We can get, but I guess I meant on the Seabrook option.
That,
We don't want to overextend.
yeah.
Is it 40% is our cap, or are you
Yeah,
saying
so
like
they
offer-
generally, EE generally advises our MLPs not to go over 30 to 35% of the portfolio. Maybe I can talk a little bit about hydro. The one reason is the production profile, where most hydro actually produces less in the winter because of the weather, but this one, because it's close, they at least in the historical data show that their production in the winter is really good. That's really beneficial economically because in the winter the pricing is really high. So we get a lot more benefit that can offset, if there's an overproduction in the spring, that's more than offsetting. Yeah, the price, the cost.
Where is Boot located?
Low, right?
Oh.
20 minutes away.
Just the Merrimack
Oh,
River.
Bill's Hydro,
Yes.
yeah. They just put in I put in a bladder.
And a Lowhead Lowhead Dam.
There's a dam right there.
Yeah.
There's a dam right on,
I went to school in Lowell, so I
yeah,
think I
there's a
almost
dam
know
on
where
the
it
out-
might
yeah,
be.
right across from the North Campus.
Yeah.
They put in a nice, base of plywood holding back the river. Plywood. Now they put in
Very
a
cool.
air bladder,
They
air
drilled a
rubber
hole in the
bladder.
plywood and now you can
And
generate
then
power.
springtime you
Yeah.
pull one out. But it's pretty fun.
That's all I think for public.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have to recuse yourself. I mean, you're the,
Well, I mean, I
You know.
just,
you're the power supply guy that
I
helped
am
us from
power supply.
Energy New England. With that, there's not a conflict. I mean, it's,
I don't think there's a
no,
conflict.
it's just,
I didn't want anyone to
sure,
feel like I was overemphasizing anything.
no.
Is there anything you want to add to what Megan said, or?
I would just say that, if you look at your first slide, Megan. Can I speak generally about nuclear? It's, as we all probably know, nuclear is making a huge comeback, right? And, so plants that were being closed, that were closed, are coming back online. And even though it's, it could be 35 to 40% of your portfolio, and that's concentration risk. Because they're so well managed and they're under such a microscope, that if there were one unit or one type of unit you would want to go above your typical concentration risk, I think it would be Seabrook unit. And the Seabrook is the 6th youngest nuclear power plant to come online in the US. It came online in 1990. So it's relatively new for a nuclear unit. And as some of you were saying, there's not going to be any, there's probably not going to be any major issues with that unit because of the care they take of it. And if it does go down, even we're all kind of, the whole pool's in trouble from a price perspective, because now everybody's going to be searching for power, and they'd have to put emergency mechanisms in place to replace that. So if you look at the curve, like where 2035, you go down again on your nuclear. So do you have a contract?
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, between 2030 and 35, we have two new nuclear contracts coming online with Seabrook. So that's a bump, but then some of the prior contracts are dropping off by 2035.
yes, the only thing I would say is if you do have something dropping off, you may want to consider,
Well, we'll have a bump first.
you have a bump, but
Yeah.
keep that bump going out. That's the only thing I would consider. And there's the reason why this came up in the first place is because there's a multi-state RFP being run by the state of Connecticut that other states can participate in. We suspect there'll be strong participation by the states to ask to force the IOUs to buy the remaining portion of Seabrook in Millstone. So that you will not get another chance to
Yeah.
buy nuclear energy between now and 2050.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic in Connecticut because last year they lowered the renewable energy level requirement for the state. And now this year they're doing RFP for nuclear. So it's a kind of a little bit of shift in their state policy.
There's gonna have to be some kind of, I mean, legislatively in Massachusetts, it's doubtful, but something's gonna have to shift, you know, at the end of the winter, you know, when you see dramatic, zero, basically zero renewables used in energy production over the course of the winter. This is I hate to say it, it's unachievable on a bright summer day, great, but in the wintertime, completely different game. But it's energy source, so it's
What's going on with the Pilgrim site?
nothing right now.
Literally?
Basically, a nuclear waste
Storage.
It will never be.
But
spent
literally,
in
there's nothing
Massachusetts.
planned for all the transmission that's
They're
there.
talking about SMRs, which Megan may talk about. I don't want, no, okay, so there's a small modular nuclear reactors and there'll be a time when I suspect they try to put them in at Seabrook and possibly other locations. But the cost of those are gonna be extremely high because it's new technology. And it's just the everything's not in place to put it together yet.
Right. But Duxbury Town Meeting will probably be strongly supportive of
You're not gonna open up another plant in
reestablishment
New
of
England,
nuclear power.
maybe Maine.
So our plan is to go into executive to talk about pricing, et cetera. So, okay, well, why don't we go do that and then we can come back and recap where we are and what votes we're going to take.
Or do you wanna can we do minutes now and close everything out? Just do it at the end? Can we just do everything else?
The reason why I have it the way it is, and we don't have to keep it like this, is so that way if you were gonna vote on the contracts tonight, that you would discuss it, make your decision, come in public and do your vote publicly.
I can do it.
When in doubt, trust Erica.
All I had to say, trust me.
Okay, Cab, would you like to vote to go to executive?
Move that the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board go into executive session pursuant to MGL 164, section 47D, exemption from public records and open meeting requirements in certain instances. Under purpose number 10, to discuss trade secrets, confidential or proprietary information regarding activities and information provided by municipal aggregator or energy cooperative, and return to open session for the continuation of regular session. All in favor? Aye.
Move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners go into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 164, Section 47D, exempt from public records and open meeting requirements in certain instances under the purpose number 10, to discuss trade secrets, confidential or proprietary information regarding activities and information provided by a municipal aggregator or energy cooperative, as well as for the approval and release of executive session minutes and return to open session for the continuation of regular session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Great Porter,
Okay, we'll go to executive and then we will come back. All right, thank you all for your patience and appreciate everyone's time. So good discussions. We are going to go ahead with some slightly adjusted motions on the boot hydro and vineyard offshore wind motions. And just to note, we are also asking the RMLD team to continue to evaluate the opportunity at Seabrook instead of just passing on that right away. So we start with the cab, and if you could just maybe bring up the updated motions, just so we read that correctly.
Okay, I'm gonna have the motion up. The first one is gonna be, instead of 15, it's gonna be 30.
No, first one's fine.
Oh, sorry, first one's fine, and then second one will be 30. So this one on the screen right now is gonna stay as is.
Okay.
Move that the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board recommend that the RMLD Board of Commissioners vote to accept the general manager's recommendation to execute a contract with Boot Hydro for energy, including associated certificates, with delivery starting as early as July 2026, such that the contract size does not exceed 15,000 megahertz per year. Megawatt hours, sorry. Megawatt hours.
Second.
Vote aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Would like to read.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
Move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners, on the recommendation of the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board, vote to accept the general manager's recommendation to execute a contract with Boot Hydro for energy, including associated certificates, delivery starting as early as July 2026, such that contract size does not exceed 15,000 megawatt hours per year.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Okay, so then the offshore wind.
And this one's gonna be 30,000 megawatt hours per year.
Move that the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board recommend that the RMLD Board of Commissioners vote to accept the general manager's recommendation to execute a contract with Vineyard Offshore Wind for energy, including associates certificates, with delivery starting as early as July 2026, such that the contract does not exceed 30,000 megawatt hours per year.
Second.
Vote aye.
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 Move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners, on the recommendation of the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board, vote to accept the general manager's recommendation to execute a contract with Vineyard Offshore Wind for energy, including associated certificates, with delivery starting as early as July 2026, such that the contract size does not exceed 30,000 megawatt hours per year.
Second.
All those in favor?
How about
Okay, excellent. Thanks all. So we will move to approval of meeting minutes. Any discussion on meeting minutes before we open? Okay.
Move that the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board approve the following 2026 open session meeting minutes as presented on the recommendation of the general manager and the board secretary, March 24th.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Roll.
Okay. I will follow up with that by saying that move that the RMLD Board of Commissioners approve the following 2026 open session meeting minutes as presented on the recommendation of the general manager and myself, the March 24th meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Okay, GM update. Jason.
First up on the update, just to give you an update of where the cost of service study sits today. We have signed a proposal with a consultant, Utility Financial Services, UFS, to perform the study for us. And we have a kickoff meeting scheduled with our team and their team for this Thursday to get that ball rolling. So we're making progress in that. Per their proposal, they're anticipating somewhere under 12 weeks to perform the study to give us some information. So we're on track to have it hopefully right around the budget time. And then the other was last month, well, end of March, beginning of April, I attended the APPA's E&O conference down in Alabama. I attended the RP3 annual business meeting for the panel that I'm on. That went well. And then of all the different options of sessions I could sit in on, I sat in on one on the culture of safety and commitment, another one on AI and grid optimization. I did some lessons in distributed energy resource management, monitoring distribution systems and operational benefits of AMI and economics of grid modernization. And that last one, the main presenter was actually the president of UFS. So that was actually very interesting to sit in on and get some information from there. I can make these slides available to the boards if you'd like. I have copies. But overall, it was a lot of stuff in there in these sessions. There's some stuff that we're currently doing with maybe different tweaks to it, and a couple of the presentations maybe went the next step beyond. But we're kind of situated pretty well into what everybody's kind of doing, what they're presenting on this conference. So, I appreciate you guys allowing me to go, and it was very beneficial.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to have access to the slides if we could do that.
Very brief update. Any other questions?
All right, let's move to scheduling. So we have our meeting schedule through the end of 2026 defined. Any issues, concerns with that? Okay. I think that's it. Any update on the warrant schedule? Everybody knows their jobs. Okay.
And before we adjourn, just we do have a policy committee meeting tomorrow at noon, right?
Yes.
Just to let you know, that's we had some good meetings in the last couple weeks, and so we'll meet virtually at noon tomorrow with Bob leading the discussion, right, Bob?
And I just dropped a 4-letter expletive about that.
So anyway, just wanted to mention it's one of the upcoming.
It was cool. It was cool. Thought it would be.
The warrant schedule doesn't look right to me. I think Pam and I switched,
We did.
but then
I'm sorry, I don't know what happens, but I keep adding that. It's not.
So which one am I picking?
so you were going to pick up October for me for the AP,
Yeah,
which you did. So you're back to back there.
Yeah.
But then I was supposed to pick up something for you, and I'm pushed way down to December. I thought I was.
you want to take
sliding.
June payroll?
Well, I thought the changes were down below, but I don't know. Was that right, Eric? I thought.
Let me double check.
It
Let
might
me
have been-
take my notes and then let me send out a revised PDF to you guys of the whole lot total.
Cause I got. Cause right now I have payroll twice to the end of the year and nothing on AP,
No, you have May.
well, May. Which
So you have 3 jobs, I have 5 jobs. The question is, do you want to take one at night?
I thought that was the plan.
That you have 3 and I have 5?
No, that that I take.
I think you might have been November payroll.
Yeah, I think that was what I was gonna pick up.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause I
got
think
it.
Then I remember asking, are you sure you're okay to do payroll fixing around? So let me then, Greg, on November payroll, and that's what.
Yeah, I think that's the change that we had agreed on.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks for catching that. Okay. I think we're ready to adjourn. I would like to start.
Move that the RMLD Citizens Advisory Board adjourn regular session. Roll call vote required. Tim Woods, aye.
Brett Pappas, aye.
Bob Castle, aye.
Take us home, Dave.
Move the RMLD Board of Commissioners adjourn regular session.
Second.
Roll call.
Reporter, aye.
That's Black's aye. Thank you. And then do the 2 hours.
Great, thank you.
Thank you all.
You gotta get.
Double chair.